We are rolling. No extravagant introduction today. Y'all know who we are. We're going to get right to it. What's up, man? How's your weekend, dog?
It's good.
Word.
Truck had to go in the shop.
Dang.
No,
What's wrong with it?
all right. Radiator and front rotors.
Oh, them rotors will get you.
They will.
The rotors will get you,
Well,
man.
you got to get them before they get you.
You got to get them before they get you because they ain't going to give you no warning either.
Have you ever had your bowels just betray you in a inopportune time? I was driving here not too long ago, and I don't have many human moments, right? Like I don't fall, I don't trip, like like most stuff that people do in their normal lives, just being as a person, like whether it's from the Pilates, whether it's from the doing the isolated movements,
Whatever, flat feet.
not having flat feet, correct. I don't have I don't deal with that most of the time, randomly being sick, but apparently having the almost about to soil your pants is somewhat common, because I've asked. So there are some people that when they have to go to the bathroom, they have to go to the bathroom.
It happens.
I've never.
It happens.
Never.
There will come a day.
Well, no.
If it has not happened to you yet, there will come a day.
And the day came.
Oh, man.
I was driving here, and I said, you know what? I should probably get some wipes, right? And in making the turnaround, after making the turnaround to find a Walgreens, CVS, whatever, to get said wipes, I had to then make another turnaround.
Because you wasn't going to make it.
I was not going to make it, and I wasn't understanding what was going on. So I'm doing...
What's happening to me?
Doing 70, 80 down to residential, and then it gets to the point to where now my body is overheating. My coat has to come off. I have to roll my windows down. The music, which wasn't even loud, is blaring. Like everything.
Anything you
is
can do to
setting me
distract
off.
yourself.
I'm hip thrusting for reasons unknown, because it felt like
you hip thrusting so you can clench.
Because it felt like there was going to be an evacuation.
Oh, yeah, you got hip thrust so you can clench tighter
of my bowels.
When you're sitting like this, you relax too much.
And I was beyond confused as into why this vessel, which I've treated so well, would ever betray me like this. And oh man, all it takes is once for me.
Oh man,
whatever. There'll be a couple of foods. Oh, there's only one place that I usually don't partake in, and I will definitely never eat there again. Because you know what, there was one other time, but that was more so me vomiting. Like it wasn't, you know what I mean, and like people would throw up, you know what I mean. So like that, eventually, But yeah, I don't have many. Like in these years, twice I've had two. Well, this will be like this. Like that time I got food poisoning. Like I just felt awful in here. That drive, and I mean, I couldn't have been on the street for no more than 30 seconds, but
it felt like
an eternity. As fast as I was driving. You ever watch something and when somebody's moving forward, it just seems like the destination is getting pushed back? That's exactly what it felt like. And so that's not at all.
So did I ever tell you my story?
I'm here now.
Man. So back when I was working I was working at GFS and still doing the comedy. But the reason, as soon as we get there, this little hood spot on like 6 Mile and Schaefer or something like that.
Okay.
And so, excuse me. For whatever reason, when I get there, my stomach just is going. I don't remember what I ate, but my stomach was just going bananas. And I'm like, all right, well, shoot, let me go drop this load real quick, and I'm gonna come back out, be good for the show. I look at the bathroom. There's no door to the bathroom,
And it's a public bathroom.
and there's no door to the stall. And the stall is directly, you're looking straight into the bathroom to the stall. So if I were to sit on that toilet, you wouldn't, like, the toilet was like to the side. So you wouldn't see like me head on, but you would see my legs. You would see my legs and my pants around my ankles just sitting there. If I'm leaning forward, you would see me. But if I'd have to lean back like this and actually, like, I'd have to have my legs up on the toilet. Like, you ever see that meme where it's like, what's the perfect position to use the bathroom?
The squatty potty.
You just be sitting stupid.
The squatty potty.
Yeah, I'd have to sit like that.
And I was like, then you put your feet up on the front of the thing, and they say it's a more natural, like how a baby, you know how like a baby you go in the corner and they just get quiet and squat and they come back around like that little fella dropped that 500 kiloton palm in here. But yeah, it's a squatty potty.
Or you just get a lower toilet. You get the same position if you just get a lower toilet.
Squatty potty's cheaper, I think, in the long run.
I mean, yes, it is.
And it travels. So now you just take it to any room in the house, depending on the way you go. Like it travels.
And hotels?
It travels.
Put it just back in the luggage.
But yeah, usually the hotels, though, to your point, they have a lower, which is like inconvenient when you're, trying to take a leak. But as far as anatomically,
you get too much velocity going to when you take a leak and then splashing everywhere.
Right, now your shoes.
Come on, I didn't come here for this. This is why I came here for comfort,
not for soil.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, I can either use this bathroom or I can just see what businesses are around here for me to go use the bathroom at. Now, mind you, it's like 8:30, so I'm like, something is open around here. 6 Mile and Schaefer. Remember that.
Okay.
So I go outside. I'm walking down Schaefer. I'm like, oh, it's a liquor store right here. I'm like, excuse me, you guys got a public bathroom? Like, yeah, we don't have a bathroom at all. We have to use the bathroom. We got to go across the street to, I think it was like a Church's or a KFC or something like that. I'm like, all right. So I step outside. That place is closed. Mind you, I'm in the boot, that walking boot cast.
Yeah.
So I'm not walking regular stride. I'm limping.
Yeah, like you got a boot on.
Yeah, like I got a boot on.
For sure.
As well as my stomach just going. So now I'm walking, I'm looking, I'm seeing different places. They close. But then by the time I stop, I look back, I'm like, no, too far. I got to keep on going. I had to keep on pushing. I'm just walking down Schaefer. I'm going.
Right, because you don't have a vehicle because he's got.
Exactly.
Where is he at?
I just told him I could be step outside for a second because I just knew one of them places in that vicinity was going to be open for me to use the bathroom.
But you couldn't close the bathroom door?
There was no door to the bathroom. They literally had no door on hinges or anything.
I mean, but what is the chances of somebody seeing you?
It wasn't. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
So how did people use
It's not like turn a corner and the bathroom is tucked away.
Right.
That bathroom is like women's bathroom had a curtain, like a shower curtain. Like when I tell you it was a hood spot. It was a hood spot.
Well, if it had that one where you tighten and untighten, I would have had to just untighten that.
I wasn't thinking. I was just like, something around here has something that's a little bit more public. There's a bunch of restaurants, Burger King, KFC, all that stuff around there. I'm like, this is something.
Speak clean bathroom.
Where I was at didn't speak clean bathroom either. So something had to give. So I'm just walking, and at that point, it came a point as I was walking where I was just like, this is it. Like this is
the day that you poop on yourself.
This is how it happens. And I feel like every adult at one point in their life, they haven't, they will.
That was my time.
You gonna have it where you will come to terms with like it's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep on pushing towards the next goal, but if this next little contraction that I have is gonna be the last.
I had almost made peace with it, but I said not today.
Let me tell you something.
Oh man,
I looked at this. I seen this little seen the dumpster. It was like behind the wall. I was like, that just may have to be this place. So I was like, I'm supposed to wipe? I don't know, but this got to leave my body.
So question: if today is that unfortunate day for somebody, do you just do what needs to be done and have that relief, or do you letting it out to, you know what I mean? Like how do you go about this situation? Like, let's say you're driving and you know you don't have any alternative. Are you pulling over and on the side of the road?
It's not gonna happen in my car.
And then just letting it. I'm just saying, if it was to happen in your clothes, or do you just find the? Do you just
it
find
wouldn't happen in my clothes. I pull over on the freeway and just have the door open and just
you got to open the doors
and try to wedge myself between the door and the car so nobody see me.
And you just find a safe spot and then just But then, then you mud butt going back home.
Then you burn the clothes that you were just wearing.
Literally burn the clothes.
You burn the clothes. You shower, you burn those clothes. You just burn them.
On social media, somebody, I seen this motherfucker
using
the bathroom on 75.
Smokey. So what ended up happening? Now remind me.
The boot.
Right. I'm in a boot. I'm looking at this dumpster like it's about to happen. And my journey started on 6 Mile in Schaefer. I look up, and this is one of the few times in my life I was happy to see the Golden Arches. I'm like, they 24 hours. Now, do you know what if you're on Schaefer in 6 Mile?
Yeah.
And I passed Finkel.
Yeah.
Do you know where the next McDonald's is?
No, because Finkel is 5 Mile, right?
Yeah.
Well, so you've walked a mile.
Yes.
You could have you've walked a mile to use it in a boot.
I walked a mile. I just knew something was going to be open.
Listen, man.
The only thing was McDonald's. You know what that McDonald's was?
It's
on Grand River and Schaefer.
Get out of here.
I walked to, listen, it gave me hope. I clenched right back up. It's like in the movies when somebody about to lose a fight and they only hear that one person talking to them. Like, get up, Adonis. Get up. I seen that McDonald's. I was like, I can make it. Man, I tell you, I walk like a pirate with a peg leg that entire time, just clenched, boot on, said. I walked to McDonald's. I was like, I need to use the bathroom. They said, for customers only. I said, I don't think you understand. I ain't asking. I need to use the bathroom. I'll buy a Sprite on my way out or something. And so they buzzed me in the bathroom. And boy, did I tear that boy up. I tore it down.
Okay.
And then the worst part was after the relief and everything, and I was, finally, get myself together, step out of McDonald's and look back to see the walk I had to make to get back. I'm like, I did this in a boot? Like, this is crazy. No wonder it didn't heal properly. Now that I think about it.
No, you would walk 2.5, 3 miles. I mean, that's a decent walk in the boot.
Bro, and it didn't even feel like it because it was so bad. I was like, I got this something. I'm just walking up to random buildings, just jiggling handles like something got to be open, bro. Something. You would think I was getting chased by a killer or something. Like, help!
That boy Michael, it was a killer. That boy Michael was just walking at his own pace.
You would think, bro. I'm still like, help! Somebody just banging on windows.
Yeah, I would have just.
Somebody! I almost turned down the street and went to somebody's house. I was like, listen, I know you don't know me. I don't know you. But something bad is about to happen. And only you can stop it.
The fate of the world. The fate of the world is at stake.
The fate of my world is at stake.
I know. I mean, yeah. At that point, you would have had to just.
I tried to call my man's son to just come pick me up from there. Like, hey, man, I'm at McDonald's up Grand River. I did call him, and I didn't hear because he had texted me. He was like, where you go? I called him. I was like, hey, man, I'm at McDonald's. He was like, which McDonald's? Ain't no McDonald's around here. I said, I had to go on a journey. Had to make a trek. He was like, dog, what you doing down there? I said, I'll tell you when I get back, unless you come get me. He was like, they done, the hood spots, parking lots. Ain't really no parking lot. It's just a big old piece of lawn, and everybody just park. You the first person there. You're not leaving ever. Like, you the last person to go. Because everybody's car is just so close to you. He was like, yeah, man, I can't get my car out. I was like, oh, well, I said, I'm on my way back now. I'll be there when I get there.
How was the show?
It was a good show.
I was just saying, your set was all right though.
Yeah, it was straight. I mean, it's early on in my comedy career, so it was like I wasn't, who I am now.
I mean, but I don't know why you wouldn't have just got on the toilet and then just go ahead and went fishing a little bit and just, whoever would have saw would have had a show.
Let me tell you something.
Whoever would have saw, they would have just had a show before the show.
Because when I tell you, like, this is what it would look like. So this is if I'm sitting on the toilet, like this is the stall right here.
Yeah.
You would be seeing this much of me if you just look straight on from the bathroom.
Hey, man,
Except like this is the stall right here, so I'd have to lean back, but you see my legs, and my shoes. And like, hey, that's the
guy.
That guy in the top tens. He the one from the bathroom.
You'd have to change shoes before the show.
I couldn't. I only had one shoe on.
They would have seen the boot.
Would have seen the boot. They'd be like, hey, I know you.
Oh man. They'd have some names for you.
Dude, I would have got heckled out the building.
Yeah, for sure.
Out the building.
Boo boo boot or something like that.
Man,
it
would have been all bad.
Stanky leg.
They would literally boo me out the building. Like, boo, boo, boo.
It would have been a boo boo.
Yeah,
because of the
a boo boo, a boo boo.
Oh wow. Well, I don't even know how to transition this to the next. But
I don't know what you want to talk about, but I had some things I want to talk about.
Oh, you ready to talk about your life now?
Actually, a little bit.
Okay, let's do it.
A little bit.
Let's do it.
Because I don't know if I mentioned this in the last. It was a little game I wanted to play as well. Because I mentioned that my daughter Googled me.
Correct.
And I popped up, right?
He's the most famous Jason Jamerson.
Yeah, and then you Googled yourself.
Jason Jamerson, and then there was a guy from Grand Valley came up before you.
Yeah, and then, well, now I'm third because there's a teacher from LSU. No, Grand Valley was after me, so I passed Grand Valley.
But that's the LSU guy.
There's a teacher from LSU. Grand Valley was a basketball player.
Okay, yeah. So the teacher
so it's a teacher, and then there's one other person who passed me up too. I'm like, well, I got to do some work, but then you look yourself up in this.
Nothing but white Sean Madden. So not even in shape. They were just regular
dudes.
I got a lot of work to do.
Regular dudes.
But then that's the thing. I have a lot of work to do, but I don't have a lot of work to do. I just got to do one thing, and then that'll jettison me in there,
basically,
because I got them. I got them beat. They just beat me to the algorithm.
Yeah, I got some work. You need people to look you up or whatever. But it got me thinking, if you were to think of the most famous people of a specific name,
okay,
like let's say if you the most famous John you can think of. If you were to Google, if you were Google and somebody asked you, most famous John, what's the John that's popping up?
For whatever reason, the only name I'm getting in my head would be John Lithgow. But as I said that, John Leguizamo has popped in, and then there is obviously
the fictional characters as well.
Jonathan Majors, but they call him Jonathan, so I guess that wouldn't. Yeah, I've heard nobody call him John Majors, but
let's throw some fictional characters in there as well. If somebody just put
John Smith.
John Smith is real and fictional, as a matter of fact. Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
Him. And then there was Jack Reacher. And then who's the other guy? There's Reacher, and then the other guy that time. John Wick, yeah. And there's the guy that Tom Cruise played Reacher. The other, with the guy that does the Quiet Place, John Krasinski. Him. And
it's a lot of Johns to be the most famous.
A lot of John and Jacks.
Yeah.
Because this is Jack Reacher, and then what's the other one? it's now it's bothering me
Besides
because
Jack Reacher,
so Reacher, there's a TV show,
and then Jack
and
Ryan.
then there we go, Jack Ryan. I couldn't.
Yeah.
So it's not John.
Ironically,
Jack.
it's John Krasinski.
They did right, yeah. So I just couldn't think of the name of the show, but yeah, it's Jack. What
Yeah.
Tom Clancy, like some Jacks.
And for those who are
John.
wondering why we keep saying John and Jack, because apparently a lot of people do not know that Jack is the proper nickname for John for some reason.
Wow. So John is Jack.
Yeah, John is Jack.
Or Jack is John.
Jack is John. Why?
Oh.
Because it's like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like Don for Donald, yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a few that don't make sense, like Dick for Richard. Like maybe they cut it down to Rich, and maybe somebody's kid said Dick by mistake, and all of a sudden it was.
Well, Women of the Night, Jack Johns. For money. Yeah, that's who would have thought.
Mm-hmm.
Jack and a John.
Jack and a John. If your name is John, your proper nickname is Jack. I don't know if you knew that, but if you didn't,
Wow.
you heard it here first.
So what about Jason?
I have no nickname.
No, I'm saying like the most famous.
Oh, the most famous Jason?
Oh, wait. So the purpose of this setup, this game, was to tell us all that Jack was John.
No.
Okay,
You were just doing that. I was just gonna list a few other names. And
so like Jason.
So, I mean, the most famous Jason.
Jason Kidd. Jason Bourne.
Probably Jason Voorhees.
More famous than Jason Kidd? I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask.
Because there's a lot of people who don't watch basketball.
Universal?
But everybody knows
Jason Derulo. I know the women probably know. The women know Jason Derulo.
Enough.
I'm sure the women know Jason Derulo.
Listen, Jason Jamerson would be at the top if I had a Jason Derulo moment. All it takes is for me.
That's all it takes.
Wear some gray sweatpants on a leg day.
That's all this.
It's game over.
Okay. All right.
I'm trending worldwide.
So in regards to Sean's, there's Sean Carter.
Sean Carter.
Jay-Z. There's obviously right now in a bit of hot water. There'd be Sean P. Diddy Combs. There's also Shawn Michaels.
There's one.
Oh, well, okay. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, technically, you can say both of them wrestle. You know what I mean? So Shawn Michaels, the wrestler. Shaun White. Kid. Yeah, Shaun White, snowboarder, skier. Sean Connery. Sean Kingston.
You know what, though? Let's see. Let's ask Google. Well, I guess it would depend on how you spell it.
There's only one way to spell Sean. S-H-A-U-N, and it will be maybe Sean Livingston.
That's Shaun White.
I think
Shaun White.
Shaun White spells his.
Let's find out. Let's find out.
White. Yeah, Shaun White.
Sean Cassidy, American singer, and then after that is Shaun White. Yeah. Sean King, the American writer and activist.
S-H-A-U-N.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
Sean the Sheep.
Okay, I'm being outbeat by a sheep.
Sean T.
Oh, that guy. I thought his was with a W.
Apparently not.
I think this is just people, just the name just popping up. I think Sean
it's spelled with the U. Let's do a W in there.
Watch it pop up.
Sean Spears, Shawn Mendes, Shawn Michaels, Shawn Wayans, Shawn Johnson, Shawn Levy. Hey, Shawn Levy, I know him. Shawn Ashmore, Sean King.
That's the guy from the journalist, the social media journalist who
Sean King?
Yeah, who has disappeared.
That's the UN.
Because he's been blowing the whistle.
That's the UN.
He is a UN. I forgot about him. He's got me beat.
Yeah.
I got some work to do.
Yeah.
Not a lot of work, but I got some work.
Of course, the EA. Actually, Sean Carter didn't pop up at all on that one.
S-H-A, which is crazy. Probably because the world knows him as Jay-Z.
Sean, the EA is Sean Garcia.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia's brother. Sean Payton, Sean McVay.
Wait, Ryan Garcia has a brother?
Apparently.
Hope he wasn't hanging out with Baphomet as well on that Bohemian cruise island or whatever he was posting the other day.
Is it Sean Payton, Sean McVay, Sean Strickland, Sean Connery, Sean O'Malley, Sean Geringer, MD, Sean Combs.
I got a little bit of work to do.
Sean Penn and Sean Hannity.
I got a little bit of work to do. I know that Hannity, that's another journalist. She got a little bit of work to do. But
that one don't count because I actually Googled myself. Jason Carr. Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey.
Two Jason
Yeah,
Cars.
Jason Kelsey just retired.
Where's other? Oh no, that's Jason Carr from Channel 2. The one from here is the higher Jason than
Jason
Kelsey.
Well, he's local,
And,
so maybe it's a local thing.
Jason Momoa, Jason Statham,
Jason
Wilson. He's local too. But
Jason Momoa is pretty big.
Just you wait.
Women like Jason Momoa.
No, I was gonna take it's a Derulo moment for me.
Hey,
that's all I was gonna take.
It's coming.
Was it Derulo moment?
No, I'm just saying. Being able to. Oh, I'm right there. One day my
absolutely.
child will be like, "Hey, Dad, you're the world." Well, son, now you have to have therapy and go to private schools because kids are trying to be weird and kidnap you. So here we are. It's gonna be more money, more problems.
I don't know.
But not speaking of that, but did you go and see Dune 2?
I did see Dune 2.
Was it a cinematic masterpiece?
I enjoyed it.
What about when they went to the I can't think of his name. It was the name whatever. The Sarsgaard guy, when they were watching the fight in the Coliseum, and then just how everything was white, I don't know what kind of lens he used. I'm not sure, but just it was a magnificent. I mean, all of the movie was shot magnificently, but that transition, like when the women had walked in and they had on black, and then all of a sudden it was white. It was quite a transition. What's the problem?
So I saw the movie, right?
You was asleep.
I didn't fall asleep. Wow. I nodded in and out.
Now look,
right. I saw at 11 p.m. After I had trained earlier and then worked the other job and then went and I was watching. And this is how I knew I was tired. This is how I knew. I was reclined, right? I'm sitting there reclined, relaxed. And somehow my head went forward and I fell asleep. And that's how I knew my head would tip up.
Unacceptable.
Listen, I saw the key points.
You didn't though.
I did.
No, you probably slept for 30 minutes.
No, I did not.
You probably did.
I know I didn't do that.
You don't know.
I do know.
You probably took 10-minute shifts.
No.
You did.
I mean, overall, I probably slept a total of like 10 minutes.
That's
combined.
Pitiful. That's pitiful.
Combined.
I mean, that's pitiful. And a masterpiece, that's 10 too many.
Listen, I was watching. It was good. I was like, wow.
10
and then when I opened my eyes, I was like, what happened? Like, how did we get here?
Was it even a Super Emax?
No, it was 11 p.m. There wasn't no Super Emax showings.
You disappoint me. It wasn't even a Super Emax.
It's close.
How dare you see that in that form? You have to see that in the Super Emax.
It's whatever the listen. It was 11 p.m.
I do have I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I know what your problem is.
I don't. I mean, like, not to discount Zendaya because she's black, but and there were black people in the movie, but it's just odd to be in the desert. But they were there. They were there. They weren't in the main cast, but there was at least probably 10 or 15 of them in the movie. And, they were soldiers, they were fighting, so whatever. And, just the whole great white saviors. But again, this is a story. It's based on a book or a graphic novel. So there's nothing wrong with keeping to the source. And I appreciate that they did that, and it was great. But just
did the source say that they were all white?
I would have to read Dune, and that I have not. Of all the literature, because I have read in my life, I have not read Dune.
Apparently, there are a few books or movies that were made from books, and they did not get the characters correct the right way. Because I've never read any of these books. I only watched the movies. But Harry Potter, apparently, there were a lot of people who were like, if you read the description in the book, this is from my sister who's a Harry Potter head.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's what you call the
I believe
the
so.
Harry Potter fan. Yeah, she's a Harry Potter head, and she was saying that I think Hermione was supposed to be black, like the way she's described in the book.
I mean, they got the boy from How to Get Away with Murder. He was in there, and I believe he was in
he's
all
not
three.
Hermione. Hermione was the main chick in the. But they said that Max is making a TV show that's going to be more like book accurate.
I mean, so why didn't that's not Token. Why didn't the young lady do something about it? That's the
J.K.
yeah,
Rowling.
that's the lady. Yeah, why didn't she do something about it? She can speak out in regards to
she wanted people to see her movie.
which I
Watch the movie.
understand. Made her billions, so I get it.
Who's the young black girl that we can get? China.
Back then, yeah,
Was China even old enough at that time?
I don't know who China is.
China. McClain.
Is that the girl from
Daddy's Little Girls?
I
And
thought you would say Blackish.
No. No.
But even she's gotten older now too.
Yeah,
so who knows?
The one from Daddy's Little Girls, and then she was in
I mean, but
a lot of Disney Channel stuff.
Yeah, and then she started speaking out on the industry and its corruption, and well, that's usually the end of the career.
Yeah, she was on Black Lightning.
Yeah, well, she was. No, that's
I mean, the whole show was done now, though. Right?
It was a good show. I enjoyed Black Lightning. Watched it with the family. You know, you got to watch. You know, as much as I love cinema and movies and TV, you got to watch everything, but especially the good black shows have to get watched, and they don't get watched enough. And then people wonder why they get canceled. It's because you don't watch TV. So like that's why it gets canceled. It's like women that complain about the WNBA. People like, yeah, when's the last time you watched the game? They're like, I haven't. I was like, well, if I've watched 10 this season and you've watched none, like who's this on? Like if women aren't watching. So it'll go to the same with us. If we're not watching the quality projects, then they'll just keep greenlighting Bile for a season or two.
You know why? Is because people, for whatever reason, actually no, it's not for whatever reason. I learned this when I took a master class, Steve Martin's master class, and he was saying that people relate more to the negative aspects of you than the positive things. So if I go on stage and talk about everything going good in my life, they're not going to be able to relate, which is why a lot of comedians end up out of touch. So when you make black movies or black TV shows or whatever about the negative aspects, the struggle, the whatever, more people feel like they can relate,
which is wild.
And
like I get it, but that's wild.
But it's like some of this stuff I don't want to relate to, honestly.
Unrelated but related. If you walked on a plane,
relatable, because I've walked on a plane.
That wasn't what I was asking. And if you saw a black pilot, would you second guess him?
No.
Like, would you be like, oh, I hope he's got his? Like, would you assume he was some affirmative action hire, or or because of this woke movement, they hired him, or would you just be like, all right, Captain?
So until I started following Lil Duval on Instagram, and things that he said about pilots have apparently been true lately, I wouldn't care if they were black, white, red, green, or brown. If they're a pilot, they're a pilot, because they not just letting anybody up there. But apparently, they are just letting anybody up there. That's why you see on Instagram so many bad things happening on flights now. Like the checks they supposed to make, things happening mid-flight. They got to make emergency landings. It's at an all-time high right now.
Now, is that on the pilot or is that on the crew?
Apparently, when they do the story gets out. You know, the news is going to do the.
Because all I see is, I just see them walk. Like when you sitting down and you waiting, and you see the pilot walk from wherever he's walking from, and he walks up to the plane. I don't never see him go underneath the plane. Now I'll pay more attention to it. But
I mean, he's supposed to look at the gauges and all that stuff or whatever. But at the same time, it's like,
all right, balance. Okay,
stuff start happening mid-flight. But no, like from what he was saying, he was like, a lot of people ain't qualified. And then you watch the news, and they start, the news going to dig up anything on anybody.
For sure.
And they were like, yeah, and he's only been a pilot for, and he didn't get his certificate the right way. Whatever. It's like, wow, how are these people getting in the cockpit then? So, that's why you just pray. You know what I'm saying? You just pray.
That's all you can do every time. Before takeoff, when I land, you got to give thanks. You got to.
Yeah. When I'm on the plane, sleep, I wake up. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, sleep on the plane, sleep during the movies.
Absolutely. Listen,
Rip Van Winkle. Sleepy Hollow. Huh?
That's me.
Sleepless in Seattle.
That is me. Sleepy Brown.
Sleepy Brown. You can't wait.
You can't wait. Close my eyes all the time.
That's.
What you think I'm about to do when we done filming this?
Edit.
Who?
No, you guys do you work?
No, I'm actually off to. Well, I mean, I work at the airport, but I'm off.
Is that Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh,
For now.
oh, okay, all right. Have you been keeping up on the basketball?
Keeping up?
Oh.
Yes. Actually watching?
Okay.
No.
All right.
But you know what I have been keeping up on?
Wrestling.
Yes, actually.
But that wasn't what you were going to say.
That's not what I was going to say.
Hockey?
Because the Rock came back and is shaking it. What did he say? He said wrestling is cool again. I'm like, you know what, Rock?
It's been a minute.
You got it right. Because
Yeah.
I've been wanting to watch.
Yeah, minus.
I'm like, well, I got to work on Friday.
Yeah, minus SummerSlam and all that. I hadn't watched since he left.
Yeah.
Well, since him and Austin left.
Yeah.
But no, so what were you referring to?
The NFL free agency is coming up in a week, as a matter of fact.
So thank you guys.
And there are some
for
names
watching.
that have not been franchise tagged. Saquon Barkley's about to hit the free agency.
The Lions have 2 running backs.
I ain't say nothing about the Lions. I'm talking about the NFL as a whole.
Your only purpose in the NFL is for the Lions.
That is a lie.
For you, the NFL exists for the Lions.
Not at all.
That is your only purpose.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I gotta know what's going on with everybody else
pertaining to the Lions. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes back to it, but I still gotta know. Like Mike Evans getting re-signed for, I'm sorry, it wasn't 32, it was 52 million for 2 years.
Just for them to go lose again, but he got his ring.
He got his ring in 2 years, 52 million,
and based off of his numbers, Hall of Famer, and he has a ring.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of players they said don't plan on getting. Well, actually, I think today was the last day to use the franchise tag.
So, question: there is no doubting his greatness, but just from a number standpoint, if St. Brown has done what Calvin has done, and is nowhere near, from a height standpoint, the physical specimen, but it is widely known that his father has been training him and his brother. But I mean, obviously, his brother doesn't seem to play like him. But from the training and the tutelage of his father and his work ethic, has surpassed Calvin,
numbers wise.
I mean,
in his first 3 years.
I mean, if we surpassed him numbers wise, and yeah,
in his first 3 years,
right?
You know,
what? Because not that I never thought, and this was me. Not that I never thought, because them first 3 years was rough. That was right after the 0-16.
He was on the 0-16.
Right, so there was that. So
it was him and John. He had John Kitna his first year. And his second year, he had Kitna and Culpepper. And then the third year is when he had Stafford for a second, and then was that the second? Yeah, no, the third year.
Stafford came after the 0-16, right?
Yeah, Stafford got hurt like the first game of the season, and then he had. Was that the second? Was that the second season? I don't think he had Stafford for a full season within his first 3.
Gotcha. Okay, so then we'll table this.
Yeah, but then if you look at,
he's got the numbers.
If you look at St. Brown,
and he's not being forced the ball either.
Third down, he's getting the football.
I mean, but he's not being forced. He's not getting.
Oh no, he's not. It's not triple team.
How many receptions was that against the Cowboys?
I mean, shoot, you can say he got it forced, but it's like he
never got in the end zone. So
that's because for whatever reason he had the Julio disease and kept falling at the 1 yard line.
I said, how this man got all these catches? How many catches was that game? Or was it because he had like 223 yards?
I know he had like 300 yards
and 1 touchdown.
Like 300.
How's that even possible?
Because what was the record? Did he have 329? I think he had 329 because it was like a handful of yards short of the record.
And I don't even think them was off yaks. It was just
he had 2 that were yaks. The other ones were just the ball was in the air. He just went up and got it.
Okay, so we'll
one was I remember one was off the slant. However, just to create the argument that you were trying to create, St. Brown ain't really turned on in his first season until his first touchdown and first reception was the second game against the Vikings, which was the second half of the season. Second season, he missed a few games because he had, was his hamstring or something like that?
And we would say currently that Calvin had a Super Bowl Hall of Fame quarterback. Currently, we don't know what's that boy's name?
Jared Goff.
Thank you. We don't know where Jared Goff. He has been to a Super Bowl, and we don't know where his career is.
Jared Goff's not going to the Hall of Fame unless he wins a Super Bowl and in convincing fashion.
If he wins the Super Bowl with the Lions, he's going to the Hall of
Fame. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody on that team is going to the Hall of Fame.
Okay, yeah, because I just was wondering, like, again, this isn't a knock on Calvin. Calvin's he's Megatron.
Yeah, no, I mean, but
would always be. But if somebody
the
smaller
numbers are the numbers,
and comes in,
because you can say the same thing about Antonio Brown too. Antonio Brown was putting up numbers that were comparable, or if not better than Calvin. And he's smaller,
and a lot of them was yaks.
Yeah, but Calvin, I would say the thing that would put Calvin above it is you knew he was getting the ball. You knew they were trying to get the ball to him.
True.
And somehow he was still getting it.
That's true.
Double team, triple team, didn't matter. You throw it up there, he was getting it.
I mean, but now,
so it's like numbers wise, it's almost like the Jordan LeBron thing. It's like there's the numbers thing, but then there's the eye test. It's like just watching it happen.
Listen, what did Mike play? 13 years. He's been playing 21. Okay, there's no eye test.
At the time, before he surpassed,
it's Mike.
Oh, I'm not. It's Mike. If you watch the games, it's clearly Mike.
It's clearly Kobe.
But then you look at there's the people who just sit there and look at numbers and be like, well, he has more done.
And again, longevity is a hell of an accolade to have. But
especially when you're taking half the season off. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
And because for me, for Tom Brady, he was available for
that one season he missed.
Right, 90% of the seasons that he was available. He played the games. He was instrumental. He never asked for. I mean, they got Randy Moss just because the whole Tennessee situation was going downhill. Or was it when he was with the Raiders? When he was with the Raiders, and that's how that happened. And they still lost that one. And he had the titles, or he has the titles, and he had the championship, the appearances. But those are the only two people that have had, a 2-decade long, and being one of the best people on the field and or the court at the same time.
So riddle me this, Batman.
Sure.
Should Eli Manning be in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, well, yes, he has two titles, but no.
Outside. I mean, he
NFL wise, he sucked.
I agree.
Statistically,
I agree. Because one of them Super Bowl runs, they just got hot at the right time. Yeah. They made it to the playoffs with an 8-8 record.
I mean, obviously, he's the more and more when I've seen Patrick Mahomes shirtless, the more and more I look at these quarterbacks, it just makes me question everything.
They don't
because it's just
a quarterback. What they need to be built for?
Like they were just blessed. But that's the thing. Like it was just it was just a God-given. Like here, like Matthew Stafford. Like, here you go. Here's the cannon. Not saying he didn't work on it, but these people are just like, here you go.
Besides Cam Newton,
Cam was together.
I think Justin Fields is decent.
Michael Vick.
I
mean, he was fast. No, wait a minute. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen ain't built.
He's probably jacked.
He ain't jacked. Okay. I can't really say the black ones because Byron Leftwich ain't no way. As well as David Garrard.
Yeah, but they were like
and
solid.
Dante Culpepper.
But they weren't very athletic. Like for them, I would say they were just black. Like Michael
I'm just saying quarterbacks in general. The ones that I can think of that are in shape.
You're like, that's who's throwing that ball 40 yards?
Dude, I told you my first time being up close and personal with football players when I went to that Lions training camp, and I was sitting there like, why am I bigger than the majority of this team?
Well, because it's the pads.
Now Calvin is a large individual, but I'm sitting there like
most wide receivers are in shape.
I took a picture with Reggie Bush, and it looks like he took a picture with me. Like, if you look at the picture, because he the one posing and everything. Yeah. I just leaned back at the camera. He just
But most wide receivers, most running backs.
I'm signing the picture and give it to him.
But it's just wild that. Yeah, like they just don't be. I mean, no time towards the end of his career when he wasn't eating avocados and wasn't eating strawberries. He
lost weight.
But then he looked like okay.
This is true because he is actually faster now than he was 20 years ago.
20 years in, he had a little gray, but he looked like okay. That looks like what I would imagine a quarterback. When you see these guys and they be like a little belly and there's no muscle, they were just blessed with a cannon. But I got sidetracked. We were talking about how do we even get on quarterback?
I don't know, but we got about 5-10 minutes before you gotta go
I
get
do
chopped
gotta,
up.
I do gotta get it together.
Get it together. Word out,
So
shout out to Howie
pretty,
Bell.
gotta get myself back pretty.
Speaking of pretty,
So
this is
Wait,
completely
wait,
off
wait, what?
completely off topic. I was at work the other day, and some old lady said I had a pretty back. Have you ever had a weird compliment of that nature? What is a
Yeah.
pretty back?
It was this guy at this old gym would call me Bubba. big Bubba. And I was trying to figure out, like, of all the names, like, he didn't mean no disrespect by it, obviously, of course, but it was just a very odd compliment to give.
It's funny because I remember that.
Somebody else.
And
like, how am I Big
he
Bubba?
called me something totally different.
Yeah, but how am I Big Bubba?
I don't know how I got a name so cool, and he gave you a prison name.
You see what I'm saying?
Like,
I thought I was tripping.
And I got the name. He didn't even call me that to me. He called me that to somebody else who was around me.
Yeah, come out and again. You gotta watch out. Well, everybody put the weights down. Big Bubba's here. Why am I Big Bubba?
Then he walked up to somebody else and said, "Hey, we call him TG around these parts." What's TG? TG is that guy. Like,
hey, I don't know how you got that guy.
I have no idea how I got that guy, Big Bubba.
Just a slap in the face. But so the lady said you had a pretty back.
Yeah, the old lady. Not just like I'm talking
But,
like
you got
67.
your polo tucked into your khakis.
Who wearing a polo and khakis?
Isn't that your uniform?
No.
What's your uniform?
They either got to be jeans, khakis. I get away with black pants, and they're usually black cargo pants.
What's the shirt?
And any red shirt, t-shirt.
I thought you were talking about the airport.
No.
Oh,
this is at Target.
Oh,
Target.
Well. I mean, yeah, you got that.
Those who don't know, I work like 15 jobs.
You got them red lats.
Call me Jamaican Jason.
Yeah, you're probably out there with your lat spread at the desk.
No, I wasn't even at the desk. I was putting diapers on the shelf.
Put that book back.
That's not.
The scanner's over there.
You make it seem like I'm just standing on a pedestal. You've already
asked me that before. Guest services.
That's not at all.
Human resources.
And
those are boys' clothes. I said it.
I'm not the fee fi fo fum type where
that's what you're standing there with your lat spread.
Our master gone. That's what you make it sound like.
I'm just saying.
No, the lady asked for there's 3 old ladies and they were like is at the end of the aisle, there's at the price check machine. Yeah. And they couldn't lift up the box to get a price check on like a crib or something like that. Okay. And so I was walking by with my little U-boat of stuff about to stock the shelves. And they was like, excuse me, young man, can you get this price for us?
So you
no
picked
problem.
Them both up.
So there's 3 of them first.
You picked up the 3 of them.
I did not. I did not.
So
I'm walking. So it's the aisle. The price check's at the end of the aisle. The lady was in. This is how old they were. The lady was in the scooter cart. One lady was in the scooter cart. One had an actual cart, and the other one was just walking.
Scooter cart.
I could have, but the 2 parted so I could get to the thing. I'll put it on the scanner. But after they parted, they closed me back in. So now I was trapped. And they was like, "You a handsome young man." I was like, "Oh, thank you." It was like, "Yeah, and you got a pretty back. Look at that back. That's a pretty back." And then they started singing "Pretty Back" like it was Jimmy Mack. That song, like "Pretty Back, Pretty, oh, pretty." I'm not making this up. This is not exaggerating for this show. This is real life. Pretty back, pretty. Leave Pretty Back alone. Let him get back to work.
So aisle 69, huh? with Ethel, Gwendolyn, and Gertrude on aisle 69.
Gertrude. I was like, one of them tried to stroke my arm and stuff. I was like,
I knew what happened. They had probably been to the wine aisle, went to the Metamucil aisle, made them a captain's log, and then they were.
Ironically, I just posted that clip today.
It was about to be a good time.
They was about to take advantage of me.
It was about to be a good time. You take care of the one on the automated cart first. Get her out the way.
First of all, I'm climbing over the aisle.
Then
I'm getting out of there.
Then you wheelbarrow the other older one.
What is happening here?
No.
I got to escape.
No. That is your escape. That is the only way to get out of the aisle. It's fatigue them all.
Fatigue.
They're old. After the wheelbarrow, and then the one who was walking, you just walk it like you're talking.
No, That's not what happened.
No.
No, they
thought that's what you would have done.
sexually harassed me for about 2 minutes, and then they finally let me free. And I heard them still talking about me as they was like in the other aisle.
Yeah.
And then I heard one singing "Pretty Back" as they was walking out the store. Pretty, oh, pretty back. Like, what is a pretty back? Like, I heard sexy back.
You left an impression.
All I did was $39.95. That's all I did.
Oh,
$39.95.
So
babe. Pretty back.
So you lifted it up and scanned their barcode and then told her your price. There we go.
First of all, my price is way more than
$39.95.
I ain't no $40 boy.
You have to move a decimal back.
I ain't no $40.
But you lifted her up and scanned her code. I knew it.
Let me tell you something. If I'm out here selling what.
If you're out here doing what? What is your price for the elderly? And they get a senior discount.
I just say, if I'm out here selling what's swelling, it's gonna be more than $39.95. Listen, you understand me?
They got
senior discount.
They got the senior discount.
First of all,
you factor in the AARP discount.
And
then if they had AAA, you got to show them some
listen,
love.
I'm a different kind of guy. The older you are, the more it's gonna cost.
No. Wow. Well,
not because I find them unattractive, but what else are you spending your money on?
Metamucil.
You spending your money on your grandkids? Forget them kids.
Oh, wow.
Forget those kids.
Oh wow.
You gonna spend your money? Wow. You got to take care of yourself. Like you wanna
peppermints and halls.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Everybody, we're out of here. We're gonna wrap it up.
This is about to turn left real fast.
I am Sean Manning, and this is Pretty Back. And so we will see you all next week. Thank you for watching.